Well, thank you for the opportunity today. I'm Masako Ichihara. I'm now working as I'm a researcher at the Kyoto Climate Change Adaptation Center, in abbreviation in KCCAC, located in the Research Institute for Humanity and Nature, Kyoto, Japan. So today's my presentations stem from my experience and my findings. We conducted interview with various sectors in Kyoto about emerging impact of climate change, and I found there's some underlying environmental philosophy in Kyoto. But however, according to the very rapid change of climate impact, this environmental philosophy is facing kind of big threat. So I suggest today a new method to think about our vision future with a new method of namely future design. So let me begin. So currently our website is only provided by Japanese, but we are definitely be provided in English as soon as possible. So Kyoto Climate Change Adaptation Center was launched in July 2021 at RIN under the partnership agreement among Kyoto Prefecture, a city of Kyoto, and RIN. We have some missions, data collection analysis, and collaboration with other institutions, and dissemination of information, and support and creation of adaptation businesses, and share of information with other and also other necessary skills. And last year, we conducted an interview to obtain information what kind of climate change impact is emerging under Kyoto. We targeted mainly 3 sectors. High school, this is Koto Gakko, this is high school. So the reason why we targeted is high school is evenly located all among Kyoto from north and west. So maybe we can obtain a very whole picture of Kyoto's climate change impact. And also agricultural and marine and forest related institution. Such institution is facing a frontliner of climate change impact. So we want obtain some information. Also, traditional culture is one of the very biggest features of Kyoto. So we also conducted interviews among people who are engaged such kind of jobs. And finding is that the very complicated layered structures of our seems to problem or challenging. So there's a very limited example which the climate change impact directly affecting, like only maybe heat shock or something like that. Most of the problem is very complicated. I'm not sure whether this problem is stemmed from climate change. So people with us, people sensing very other things like aging problem or declining problem successors, or changing the lifestyle or decreasing attraction of traditional cultures. Such existing other social challenges was degraded by the climate change. So having that in the background, also the sense of nature is changing. This problem summarized can be 2 points. One is awe of nature that has been fundamental in Japanese traditional culture seems to be getting replaced by a threat. Let me share about the proof or testimony given by the Japanese gardener. He said that when climate change brings a heavy downpour of rain and some trees fall down in their root, the sight of the large tree that we thought was important turned into a look of danger. It is very unfortunate that something that we thought was important can be seen as a threat. So nature used to be something to awe or digniful, but nowadays, according to the severe climate change, it is a very scary thing. So people begin to think, consider it is very friendly or something to awe. Instead, it's very scary or a threat. Also, nature used to be given conditions human is supposed to comply with, but today it is too scary. So currently it needed to be regulated in order to save people's safety. This is by testified by the head of Michel Ikebana. Let me read it. It's very important for Ikebana to transmit the idea that human and nature are not opposite, but that human are part of the nature. So this notion was taken for granted before for Japanese, but currently, according to such very rapid and severe adverse impacts, such notion is also changing. So we have a very fundamental philosophy in Japan, wabi-sabi, including wabi-sabi. So maybe in my understanding, there is a very two big point of nature and sense of the eversiveness. So if everything is not stay eternal, but everything is changing, but it's in very long term. So changing is also kind of eternal. But in the long term, it is very circulating, and so such kind of environmental philosophy underlines Japanese culture. So let me introduce two of the most important popular previous studies or previous literature. So one is from Japanese tea ceremony. It is the English version is also provided already. Book of Tea. Let me quote one part. A path, it is in Japanese a sui, so moving or shifting is not much away, as it is a process of transition. It represents a spirit of cosmic formation or eternal growth that constantly returns to itself. So it is circling to a new form. It is a symbol favored by Taoists, the way that it turned itself around like a dragon and like a cloud vanished again. The way, however, is also a grand tradition. Subjectively speaking, it is a mood of the universe, and it is absolute, always relative. So nothing is absolute. Everything is connected and moving. This is a shared notion in Japanese environment philosophy in my understanding. Another example is from Hojoki from Kamono Chome. The flowing river is not the same as the original water. The song that flowed in the darkness has never ceased to disappear, nor has it ever been united. The people and their dream in the world is just like this. So this is the very beginning of this Hojoki story. So everything is as same, everything is as changing. However, such notion was there's one big premise. So continuity and readers might be a premise from the perspective of long term. So there, let me compare the environmental philosophy and between Eastern and Western way of thinking. For example, as for sense of nature, Eastern way of thinking, people are mostly take it as a stable or strong belief in the resilience. So they are changing, but it's very resilient. Once they are damaged, but they are coming back. But Western way of thinking, sense of nature is more like a threat against comfortable human sphere. So it needed to be changed or controlled. And also concept of relation between human nature. Maybe a human is supposed to adapt to nature. We have to adapt. However, Western way of thinking, nature is supposed to be controlled by human. And also termism, Eastern way is more long-termism, but Western way, the outcome is more rapidly needed. And also perception of climate change. So as a consequence, most of if we go along with Eastern way, maybe this is also a natural order. Actually, judging people working in the Japanese tea ceremony, they say no, climate change is not such a big thing. It used to be in the past. We are supposed to adapt current climate change. But Eastern way, Western way of thinking, we need to mitigate it. Also, dominated social acceptance. So gap between generations can be observed also in Western way of thinking. Maybe so young generation in Japanese is also they are inclined to more like a Western way, but maybe the very elder people in Japan, at least Japanese elder people, maybe sustain the use old Eastern way of thinking mostly. And the Western way, gap in between sector, like people in working in fossil fuel factors or agricultural factors, maybe there some gap can be identified. I found some futurability in Japanese environmental philosophy. Let me quote some article from Saijo, who innovated method of future design. People exhibit futurability when they experience an increase in happiness as a result of deciding and acting toward foregoing current benefit to enrich future generations. It is fundamentally a question of whether the willingness of parents to less and to feed the children more can extend to a future generation, not related by blood. This sense can be summarized as found in Kyoto's traditional culture's philosophy, at least 4 points. So chronological concept can be found in the Japanese Ikebana, a flower ceremony. So they capture all the lifetime from bud, bloom, and miniature and blasts. In contrast, flower arrangement in Western way, they focus maybe only the bloom. And also sense of eternally, we can find in the tea ceremony. So one previous studies say that there is a cosmic world in a teacup. So the very small, for example, tea is shaped in water. Water changes its shape according to the cup, but its subject is not changing. It remains always tea or water. So this is there are some common things in terms of subjectivity and which can share with the cosmic word. So there is some commonality. Also, spirit of coexistence with nature in harmony under changing environment. This is the same thing. So we have this is my mistake. We have a saying, live adaptively to the surrounding condition, other waters that symbolize eternity. In Japanese, jozen mizu no gotoshi. So living like a water is considered as a very virtually very high. So considering such a situation, maybe currently still I noted according to the severe climate change, it is unprecedented things. So even such environmental philosophy is facing some very big threat. So maybe we have to take another way. We have to take another method. So there's a future design. This is provided by Saijo, the method to vision future apart from present. The idea is very simple: to time travel to the future, keeping the current age, and become imaginary future generations, and discuss about the ideal future, free from current many limitations. Then we can extend our idea or imagination more than current stage. Then we go back to the current generation, much freer idea and innovative perspective. This method, maybe Kyoto is very suitable to Kyoto's atmosphere. As I explained, they have some common sense of the future design. So in conclusion, climate, so maybe time limited, I need to maybe stop there. So climate change impact poses a serious threat to people's sense of nature that be accompanied with awe, dignity, and familiarity. And environmental philosophy in the Western traditional culture connotes long-term with adaptability for continuously changing nature instead of short-termism. Conflicts, those are often seen in the Western culture. To inherit sustainable nature and society to future generations, future design the promised method, but that would be suitable to Kyoto that originally sustained futurability in its philosophy's history. Sorry for the time. Thank you for attention. This is the end of my presentation.